Hey everybody, so today we're going to start Unit 11, which is solids, which is going to deal with surface area and volume of three-dimensional figures. So we're going to take what we learned last unit with area of two-dimensional figures and apply it to three dimensions, okay? So it's going to be really important to remember our area formulas from last unit. And we are going to start with our first couple targets, which are surface area. And surface area refers to the total area of the object's faces. So a three-dimensional figure, and I'm going to scroll down so you can see these. A three-dimensional figure, if we unravel it, is made up of two bases and the rectangles that surround them for a prism. Okay, so for example, you see that we have a base, two triangles there, and then we have three rectangles that surround it. Okay, so when we're finding the surface area of an object, we are unraveling it and finding the area of each figure that makes up that prism or cylinder for this first part. Okay, and we have a formula to help us out there. Surface area is equal to 2 times the area of the base. So this is base area, okay, because there's two bases. And then we do the perimeter of the base times the height. And the height is between the two bases. So it's the segment that connects the two bases. Okay? So 2 times the area of the base, that accounts for both the bases. And then perimeter of the base times the height is going to take into account all of the rectangles that surround those bases. So that's our shortcut formula. Let's start using it. So find the surface area of this prism. The base is a triangle. And I find it helpful to draw our base separately since we need to find the area and perimeter of it. So to find the area of the triangle, we're going to do base 6 times height 8 divided by 2. Okay, and that's going to give us a area of the base of 24. Perimeter of the base, we need to add up all the sides. So we need to do 8 squared plus 6 squared and take the square root of that in order to get the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 10. So when I add up all the sides, the perimeter of the base also happens to be 24. The height is the segment that connects the two bases. So my height is 20 inches. Now to find surface area, we need to do 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter of the base times the height. And that is going to give us a surface area of 528. And because we're still talking about area, our units are squared. So 528 inches squared. Let's move on then to our next one. The base of this figure is a trapezoid. So if I draw this trapezoid separately, the longer base is 8, shorter base is 4. The height is 4.6, and both of these legs are 5. So to find the area of the base, we're going to do base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. And we're going to get an area of the base that's going to be 27.6. Perimeter of the base, if I add up all the sides, so 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 8, that's going to give us 22. The height is the length connecting the two bases, so that's going to be 6. Now to find the surface area, we're going to take 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter of the base times the height. And when I plug that into my calculator, I'm going to get 187.2 meters squared. Okay, so this formula just helps expedite our process of finding the area of everything, of every face, and adding them all together. So we have a cylinder, and in a cylinder, the base is a circle. So if I draw this circle separately, it has a radius of 4. The area of a circle, remember, area is pi r squared. So that means the area of this circle is 16 pi. The perimeter, also known as the circumference, is 2 pi r. So that is going to give me a perimeter or a circumference of 8 pi. The height connecting the two is 5. So the surface area, that's going to be 2 times the area of the base plus the perimeter of the base times the height. And if I wanted to leave this in exact form, I would get 72 pi meters squared. In approximate form, I would get 226.195 meters squared. Okay? And then our last type of problem would be if we have to work backwards. So for example, we know the surface area is 800. We know the base is a hexagon. So if I draw that hexagon separately, we are trying to find the apothem. We know each of the side lengths is 9, which means I know that the perimeter is going to be 54. We also know the height of this prism is 7. But if we're trying to find the apothem, remember, the area of a hexagon is apothem times perimeter divided by 2. So we can fill in an expression to represent the area of the base. That expression is going to be apothem, we don't know that, times perimeter, which is 54, so 54x divided by 2. So that's going to simplify to give me 27x. Now, if we plug this all in into our surface area formula, surface area, which is 800, is equal to 2 times the area of the base, which we now have represented as 27x, plus the perimeter of the base, which is 54, times the height, which is 7. So we just have an algebraic equation here. If I were to set this up to solve, 800 is equal to 54x plus 378. If I were to solve this now, just going to solve it for x, x would be approximately 7.815 yards. Okay, so that is our first target, which is surface area. We've got that formula, which is going to help be a shortcut. But remember, what we're doing is we're just finding the area of each face of each two-dimensional figure that makes up this three-dimensional figure. We're finding the area of each of those, adding it up together in order to get the total surface area. Okay, so we can do that, or we can work backwards to find a missing part, depending on what the question's asking. So if you have any questions, let me know. You can start working on that problem set in order to master this skill. Have a good one.